Thanks for stopping by to watch me, Leah Cook Kosher. Today I'm going to show you how to make a great savory pastry, Sephardic in origin, and it's called a boreka. And today we're going to work on the most common and popular and favorite variety, which is one filled with potato and loads of Parmesan cheese and feta cheese. Let's start by making our dough because we want it to sit for about 15 minutes, and that'll be just the right amount of time for us to make our filling. Okay, simple dough, flour, canola oil, salt, and a little bit of hot water. I like to use my hot water from my pot here, so I'm going to measure out a half a cup. To that I add my canola oil. I'm going to quickly add my salt to the flour, stir, and then go ahead and add my water and oil. And this, along with all my recipes, are online at LeahCooksKosher.com, so you don't have to worry about following along with me right here and keeping track of the ingredients and quantities, okay? This dough needs a chance to rest so that it will become a little more elastic and allow for shaping the little borekas. As you can see, I have a very soft dough, and it is warm to the touch, and that's what we want. We want it to look just like that. And another little trick is I'm just going to set this on my counter and flip my bowl over it and let it rest. Let's start our filling while the dough is resting. This will just take a minute. We're going to start with our potato flakes. We need 2 3/4 cup. And I know back in the old country they didn't use potato flakes, so if you want to smash your own potatoes, go ahead. And to reconstitute those, I need about 2 1/4 cups of hot water. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and use my very hot water. Wow, they smell good. So that's one way to get very creamy mashed potatoes in 10 seconds or less. And to the potato mixture, I'm going to add my pepper, and I have 1 egg here as a binder. Kind of just right in the bowl, mix that up, and then stir it into the potatoes. That'll add more moisture. You'll feel that the potato's starting to thicken up, so the egg will also lighten that. And then we can go ahead and add all our cheeses. Okay, we have our Parmesan, cottage cheese, and our feta cheese that's been crumbled a bit, so it'll be easy to mix in. Now we can just give that a really good stir. This is another one of those Sephardic specialties that Catherine Sharon taught me how to make. And in the beginning, we used to have her come make the filling, and then she would make the dough for us, but we were so fast that all she could do is keep mixing dough, keep mixing dough. All right, and that is the filling. Okay, that was super simple too. And I really would like to teach everyone how to make them. Everyone appreciates a good boreka. I'm going to tidy up the mess, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to put together the most delicate and fabulous savory pastry you've ever eaten. So we have our 2 components made. I have my filling and my dough. And I can tell this is beautiful. You can see that the oil is sort of separating out, but that's okay. And just like any sort of pastry, don't overhandle it. I have to industrialize the process at work because we make so many. So I tend to use my portion scoops. The dough wraps around the filling, but my dough is actually less than my filling. So I use a smaller scoop. This is a 50. The numbers are on the inside. You can buy them that way. A 50 for the dough, and this is a 40, and I use the 40 with a little bit over the top for the filling. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, I like to make a number of blobs. They're so scientific around here. A filling, line them up, and sort of make it an assembly line process out of this. 2, 4, 6, 8, that's a dozen right there. With my other scoop, I'm making a very level blob of dough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, the dough. I line them up like this and just kind of squish it so it comes together. Place it down, push it with the palm of your hand, and just sort of get them all up there. It gives the dough a chance to relax one more time. Now, you can continue to pat the dough out into a long oval shape, or you can use a rolling pin. I love this non-stick rolling pin. And look at that. I'm multitasking. I'm making 6 borekas at once. Okay? And then you can go just delicately sideways to give it a little bit of width. And that's it. Then we're going to take a ball of the filling, place it on each boreka, just like that. I'm going to do this backwards to the camera so that you can see what's next. Ordinarily, I would fold them toward me, but I'm going to fold them towards you so you can see. Just do that gently. I always tell my crew, romance it. Romance everything. We're hardly touching. And I'm just going to pull them all over just like that. Okay, now, this is the tricky part. I'm just going to bring the edges of the dough together. Just touching. I don't want to make a big lip. I just want to very delicately bring those together. And when I hold my food, I hold things very lightly. I mean, you could just yank it right out of my hand. I don't clutch on, okay? It's very light. And then you, with your thumb, you push the dough up and pinch. And you start getting a very delicate rope pattern along the edge. I find that it usually takes about 16, 17 of these little twists. All right? Do you see how delicate that is? That's what you want. Otherwise, when you bring them to Seward Park, they're all going to say you don't know how to make a boreka. I'm just going to continue again. Bring the dough ever so slightly together. Delicate little pinch. And then bring that up. This is really the hallmark of a beautiful boreka, because as it cooks or bakes, it's going to puff up and push this even thinner, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Again, very delicately, we're going to pick that up, gently press just the edges together. And if you get a little bit of dough there, just pinch it off. No worries. And then start again by bringing your thumb always stays up. You're not doing any kind of funky twist with your arms, okay? You just keep your elbows at your side and let your thumb press that dough up. I'm going to finish these up. It won't take me long, and then I'll show you how to brush the top and pop them into the oven. Be right back. Okay, so I'm all finished, and I have almost 24 borekas. Almost, kind of annoying, but you know, that's sort of based on how much dough and how much filling you do. So makes about 24 pieces. I don't need to eat 24 pieces today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in the freezer without brushing it with egg or putting more cheese on it, just like this. Let them harden, and then I'm going to transfer them to a baggie and just store them that way until I'm ready to bake. And then when you are ready to bake, simply put them out frozen, brush as I'm going to show you, sprinkle with cheese into the oven, even frozen, okay? We're going to take our sheet of borekas, and I have a beaten egg here, And I'm just simply going to give it a little bit of an egg wash. You can add a little, just a hair of water to the egg too. Seems to go on a little smoother. This will help give the boreka a little bit of color and hold the cheese on that we're going to sprinkle on top. Sometimes the Sephardic ladies use Romano cheese, so if you can find Romano cheese, you might try that and see how you like that flavor. Very similar. Okay. And then just take a little more Parmesan cheese and sprinkle it on. Now, borekas can be made with a variety of fillings. I usually put Parmesan cheese when I'm making the potato cheese variety. But for instance, if I'm putting in a pumpkin filling, and that recipe is on my website, I sprinkle it with a little cinnamon and sugar. And then we also do an eggplant filling, again, recipe on my website. And those we sprinkle with sesame seeds. So that helps me identify what the filling is. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do is take a fork and with the tongs just poke it in once. That should help the boreka keep from exploding in the oven. Sometimes they want to leak out, no big deal, just tuck the filling back in. Our borekas are ready. I'm going to pop them into the oven. It's already preheated at 350 degrees. So we'll put them in, and I like to rotate my baked goods during the process. So in about 8 minutes, we'll be checking on those. And I'm going to set that for 8 more minutes. Oh, great. These are beautiful. The cheese is lightly browned, but we don't have too much color on the actual boreka itself, just a light brown. We don't want them very dark. And we do want to make sure that the bottom, a little bit colored and set up. Perfect, let's just let them sit and then we'll platter them up. How fabulous are these? Crack open that delicate pastry, that creamy potato cheese filling. Smells fabulous, and you know it's going to taste even better.